the day justice found her. It was a Saturday afternoon at the Willow Creek Mall, the kind of place where families gather, kids laugh, and the hum of normal life feels unbreakable. My 12-year-old son, Ethan, sat quietly on a bench by the food court, his hands fluttering gently, a habit he's had since he was little, a way to calm himself when the world gets too loud. Ethan's autistic, and those soft, rhythmic motions are his anchor. But that day, a woman named Vivian Harper decided his quiet presence was a threat. She aimed a taser at my boy and fired, sending 50,000 volts into his chest. He collapsed, seizing on the cold tile floor, while shoppers screamed and scattered. Vivian stood over him, smug, as if she'd just saved the day. She had no idea who she'd just crossed, or that I, Sheriff Daniel Monroe, would make sure she'd never forget. I wasn't there when it happened. I was across town, grabbing coffee with an old buddy from the precinct, when my wife, Sarah, called. Her voice was raw, trembling with panic I hadn't heard in 20 years of marriage. "Daniel, someone tossed Ethan. He's not moving." My world stopped. I dropped everything, jumped in my truck, and tore through traffic, lights flashing, heart pounding. What kind of person attacks a child who wouldn't hurt a fly for no reason? By the end of that day, Vivian would learn exactly who I was. I'm Daniel Monroe, county sheriff for over a decade, a man most folks in our suburban neighborhood know as the guy who mows his lawn on Sundays or walks his golden retriever at dawn. I don't flaunt my badge. I've seen enough in 25 years on the force murders, standoffs, heartbreak to know that power doesn't need a megaphone. But Ethan's my heart. He came to us after years of heartbreak, a miracle after Sarah, and I thought we'd never have kids. Diagnosed with autism at 4. He sees the world differently, notices the hum of a refrigerator or the way leaves dance in the wind. He's quiet, sensitive, with a smile that lights up a room. Every Saturday, we let him choose what to do. That day, he wanted to sit at the mall, sip a strawberry smoothie, and watch the world go by. I thought it was safe. I was wrong. Vivian Harper wasn't just any mall goer. She was the president of our homeowners association, a woman who treated our quiet cul-de-sacs like her personal kingdom. Dressed in crisp blazers and dripping with perfume, she'd send fines for overgrown hedges or kids' bikes left on driveways. She wasn't elected, she slithered into power when the old board dissolved, rewriting rules to suit her whims. Neighbors whispered about her. The single mom fined for a messy porch, the veteran cited for a flagpole 2 inches too tall. Vivian claimed she kept our community safe. Safe from what? Kids like Ethan? The mall security footage told the story. Ethan sat, knees tucked, hands fluttering, lost in his world. Vivian approached, arms crossed, lips pursed. "What are you doing?" she demanded. Ethan didn't answer struggles with words when stressed. She barked again, louder. He looked away. That's when she pulled the taser from her purse and fired. No warning, no threat. Ethan never even stood up. A witness, Lisa Bennett, recorded it all on her phone. He was just sitting there, she later told me, her voice shaking. She shouted, then zapped him like he was dangerous. When I stormed into the mall, chaos greeted me. Shoppers huddled, whispering. EMTs knelt over Ethan, his small body curled on the floor, one sneaker missing, his hoodie twisted. Sarah was beside him, pale, hands trembling as she tried not to break. "He's not talking, Daniel," she whispered. My boy's eyes were open but distant, his fingers twitching. I knelt, whispering his name, but he didn't respond. Rage burned in my chest, but I held it together for him. Then I saw Vivian, lecturing a security guard about unruly behavior. She spotted me and smiled, like we were at a neighborhood barbecue. "Daniel, good to see you. Your son was acting strangely." I cut her off. "You tossed my boy. A child." Her smile faltered. He was flapping, mumbling. I felt unsafe. I stepped closer, voice low. "He's autistic. That's called stimmying." He was calming himself. She shrugged. "I didn't know. Ignorance isn't an excuse not for this." I flashed my badge. "I'm Sheriff Monroe. Pull every camera feed from the last 30 minutes. Get witness statements." Now, Vivian scoffed, but the security team moved fast. Lisa's video matched the mall's footage. Vivian's unprovoked attack was undeniable. I called Deputy Rachel Carter, a sharp officer I trusted to handle the case by the book. Vivian was cuffed at the scene, whining about unfair treatment. I didn't care. My focus was on Ethan, now in an ambulance, with Sarah by his side. I followed, gripping the wheel, praying he'd be okay. At the hospital, doctors said the taser didn't cause permanent physical damage, no burns, no organ failure. But for a kid like Ethan, whose senses are already on edge, the trauma could linger. He might regress, the neurologist warned. Lose speech, withdraw more. Sarah cried in the waiting room. I sat by Ethan's bed, holding his hand, telling him about the fishing trip we'd take someday. All night, one thought haunted me. Vivian thought she was right. She saw Ethan's difference and called it danger. That wasn't just ignorancy, it was cruelty. By morning, Vivian's mugshot was on every local news site, her stunned expression under headlines like, HOA leader Taser's autistic child. Lisa's video went viral, sparking outrage online. Parents, teachers, strangers, they all rallied for Ethan. But I knew public anger fades. Justice had to be airtight. Deputy Carter built an ironclad case. 6 witnesses, 3 camera angles, and an unlicensed taser. The DA charged Vivian with felony assault, child endangerment, and illegal weapon possession. She faced real prison time. But I wasn't done. Vivian's grip on our HOA had to end. That evening, I walked into the community center, no uniform, just a dad with a stack of evidence, medical reports, witness statements, video stills. The room was packed, neighbors I hadn't seen in years, all fed up with Vivian's reign. I held up a photo of Ethan in his hospital bed, wires on his chest. This is what happens when power goes unchecked, I said. Vivian tossed my son because she couldn't control him. She's no leader, bully. A woman in the back shouted, kick her out. Others nodded. Patricia Evans, a board member, stood. I moved to remove Vivian Harper as HOA president, effective immediately. The vote was unanimous. Vivian was gone. Later, neighbors confessed they'd feared her for years, her fines, her threats. She scared us silent, one said. Not anymore. Ethan's recovery was slow. He stopped talking for weeks, flinched at strangers. We didn't push him to return to the mall. Instead, we walked in the park, painted, and watched his favorite movie on repeat. Sarah found an art therapy group for neurodiverse kids, and Ethan bloomed. He made friends, used colors to express what words couldn't. One day, he showed me a drawing, a tall woman with lightning bolts, crossed out in red. The bad lady, he said. Next to her, a man shielded a boy. That's you, Dad. I choked back tears. He was healing. The trial was brutal but clear. Lisa testified, her video silencing Vivian's lies. The EMT described Ethan's distress. The neurologist outlined the risks to his development. Sarah spoke of Ethan's fear, her voice steady but raw. I took the stand last, not as sheriff, but as Ethan's dad. I don't want revenge, I said. I want accountability. No one should fear being themselves. The jury took 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Vivian got 7 years, no bail. She sobbed, not from remorse, but disbelief. Justice spoke. The HOA rebuilt. Vivian's rules were scrapped, fines refunded, and meetings opened. Neighbors rallied, freer than they'd been in years. Ethan didn't return to the mall for months, but he grew. He drew dinosaurs on our sidewalk, hummed softly, and laughed again. Every Saturday, we sit in the parkour safe hour, he calls it. You're my shield, Dad, he said once. No badge ever meant more. A year later, we're stronger. Sarah and I learned how fragile normal is, but how fierce love can be. Our town changed. Neighbors check on each other, ask questions, and listen. Ethan's art now hangs in our kitchen, a boy walking free, a garden gate locked behind a woman who can't hurt him anymore. What would you do if someone hurt your child for being different? How far would you go for justice? Share your thoughts below. Tell us where you stand on violence, ignorance, and accountability. Your voice matters.